Hey PT sisters, welcome back to our channel. I'll be answering some questions that I have received from some of my fellow moms inside my private Facebook group. So I did want to start answering the questions that I've been receiving. So one, Christine asked me, I would love to know motivational secrets with two little ones. I start so well on a workout routine, and once it gets interrupted by planned or even unplanned activities, I falter and fall. So for me, they're not really, I guess, motivational secrets. It's just I have to go deeper. I have to find my bigger why in things and realize planned and unplanned activities are always going to happen. It is just part of life. So you have to learn to embrace going with the flow and knowing that there is no real track to be on. It's just life. It's part of your journey. And coming more from that more relaxed mindset, again, of dropping the perfectionism, because that ties in to a little bit of being, to me, it was a little bit, when I had those thoughts in the past, it was all about being perfect, perfect, perfect. And if I wasn't, I had all this shame and guilt. And it's so important for us moms to realize that, especially with kids, things are going to happen unexpectedly. And that's just the way it goes. That's the beauty of it. That is life. And embrace it. So I've really just learned over time to embrace the planned and unplanned activities. Because for me, even when I work out, I hear postpartum, the first couple months right after having Lila, I was really good. And I always made sure I got 5 to 10 minutes of really good quality core work done. And focus on my alignment more throughout the day. I was really mindful about that. But I would say maybe about 6 months postpartum, I had a lot of other stuff going on with family and travel and business, really, and it took me away. It wasn't a priority that much anymore for me. My other priority was wherever I was with my business, other big things I wanted to focus on. So my core got pushed off to the side. I didn't focus in as much. But then I came back. I realized that. I was mindful of it. I was aware of it. I just moved on. Said, well, that's where I was in that moment. And then I'd pick back up. And to me, this again goes back to there's no track. You know, there's no deadline. John and I like to discuss a lot with our clients the idea that you're just going through different seasons, even throughout your life. Even could be in a month. It would be something, a different season at the beginning of the month, and your end of the month could be something completely different. So the biggest thing is know your deeper whys. So again, my deeper whys is that I want to be strong and healthy for my kids for life. And embracing that there is an ebb and flow of life, and just embrace it and learn to go with it instead of fight it. Because the more you fight it, you're just building up a lot of stress and resistance inside your bodies, which can stall your results, your progress that you're making, plus make you feel miserable all the time. But if you just learn to embrace it more, it really changes your outlook on life. And you catch yourself being able, oh yeah, I just had an off day or an off period, I'm right back up, you know, I'm no big deal. And one last thing to kind of help with the keep going if things get, you know, off track in a way, just remember that it's your journey. It's your timeline is your timeline. That's something Michelle and I kind of really learned and embraced a lot this year, and has really helped out a lot, even for me. I told you, at the start I was really good, then I got off, then I got back on and off, and still here I am today. I noticed some days I'm really good about my core. I told you, I feel really strong, I feel really good. I'm really good with my alignment, my breathing, keeping my ribs down. Then other days I'm not so much, and I look more bloated and all this other stuff. So, and I just embrace it all. I just like, this is life. So going along with what I kind of said, focus on you. So when you start having those mental thoughts to yourself like, oh my gosh, I was doing so good, but then now I'm not doing so good anymore, and then getting all mad about yourself, ask yourself something like this. Whose timeline am I on? Who am I comparing myself to, and why? And then go back to you. This is my life. This is my body, my timeline, nobody else's. And that to learn to embrace the ebb and flow of life, and that you tell yourself there's plenty of time to get your core strong, that there really is no on and off. It's just life. And that really just, it's a small mindset shift, but it's really, really powerful. Question number 2 comes from Sarah. Sarah asked me, how many times a week do you exercise? Which exercises? I'm believing, Sarah, you're meaning towards my core exercises. Which exercises, if you are tight on time, you make sure to do? This is another really great question. So answering the first part of the question, how many times do I do my core exercises? I say again that varies depending where I am on a daily basis or even in my life. Like I said, that the first couple months postpartum, I did them every single day. And then I stretched out a little bit, where it's maybe just a few times a week. And now, 1 year postpartum, I still try to do something every single day. And like kind of tying into question number 2, what are my go-tos if I'm really short on time? I'll get to those here in a second, but pretty much I try to at least do 1, sometimes 2 exercises at least every day. So maybe it's only two good minutes of doing real good core work. Other days I'm better where I can really spend 5, even up to 10 minutes of doing good quality core work. To me, again, it's the quality of the core work that you do, not the quantity. So you don't have to do 10 different exercises. If you can just do 1 or 2 exercises really, really good, that is still very beneficial. Plus, you have to pay attention to your lifestyle. So if you're not always doing your core work, you need to make sure that your lifestyle is still helping you with that, keeping your core strong. So that really just comes down to, are your ribs flared? Are they down? Are you sitting in proper alignment? Is your butt tucked or untucked? Are your arms folded over, crunched over? Or are they back in a neutral position? And is your head forward? Is your head leaning this way, out of alignment? All these small little things will add up to the pressure on your core. So if you're not doing as much core work as you can, because you don't have those extra 5-10 minutes at that moment in your life, just make sure that throughout the day you're being more mindful of your other activities. So my top 2, I guess, exercises that I always tend to go to, here I am even a year postpartum. One, I'll link up the video. I linked up a couple different exercises that are my favorites, but my main one favorite is the band pull. So you get a resistance band and you pull the band like this. I find this is really, really good for those that have maybe more of a separation or weakness in their core, the belly button or above. So if you know that's for you, that's where most of your gap is, you might always want to focus on doing this a few times a week. Now maybe you're a person that most of your gap is the belly button or below. Leg slides are still one of my go-tos. It's a very simple exercise, but again, you go for quality. So you really want to make sure that you're holding good core engagement through the entire thing and your hips aren't really moving. That's also very important. You can also add in an arm raise. So if you're laying down on your back, you can put your arm up over your head while you do it for something a little bit more challenging, to making sure nothing moves. Your back doesn't move. There's all other things you can kind of advance that movement as well. And another really great move that I do, again, on those days where I know that I'm not going to have time, or I'd rather go to sleep for those extra 5-10 minutes, I have those days too, or I stay up and I do some personal development work, whatever it is. Throughout the day then, I am always a little bit more mindful of, again, my alignment. And then also then every once in a while through the day, I'll do little tiny pulses. So again, I'll make sure that I'm in alignment, and then I'll engage, and then I'll just visualize pulling my button back a little bit tighter, 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 and then you relax, and then you again engage, a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter. And I do that just a little bit throughout the day. I always like to do a little bit belly breath like that, like after I go to the bathroom or something like that. Something easy, like when I pick up my kid, I quickly do a little quick belly breath, engage a little bit. But I just know that I'm doing that little bit of extra work here and there throughout the day. And last question I got from Heather. Do you still feel like everything seems tighter, flatter in the morning, then it seems more poochy by the evening? So she says she still sometimes is catching herself having this different again when she's standing versus then when she's sitting. Thank you so much, Heather, for this question. I absolutely love this question because I have this same thought as well, and I know probably so many moms out there have it too. So thank you again for the great question. So does your belly look different morning, lunch, evening? Yes. Not just my belly, but I also wanted to mention my twin sister, Michelle, who's never been pregnant and does not have diastasis. Her belly does the same thing too. We actually did a coaching call on this where I had her come in and we felt her belly when it was different. And her belly feels different when she's standing versus when she's sitting and laying down as well. So I also want to get across, so that is completely normal, at least from my experience and from my knowledge, that your belly will be different standing versus sitting, even laying down. So take that pressure off yourself. And it's completely normal for you to look better in the morning, and then as you get more food in your body and all that stuff, it might look different by the evening, and that's completely normal too. It might not be drastic every day. Some days you might be a little bit more bloated by the evening than other days, and that's completely normal too. But if you're someone like me who has suffered from diastasis, it tends to show up a little bit more. Our diastasis isn't as forgiving as somebody else who's never had it. So also be a little bit more compassionate to yourself on those days, and just realize a lot of other moms who are suffering and having the same issue as well, and so it's completely normal. Just on those days when I do feel a little bit extra bloated, those are the days that I'm really trying my best to be more mindful of my alignment. If I start catching myself squatting like this, I'm like, wait a minute, that's not right. I need a hinge, and it really takes a lot of pressure off my belly as well. And I also want to mention for me, I'll have to get different angle shots here so you guys can see. My belly, I still have a lot of loose skin around my belly button. During my pregnancy, where I gained all my weight with my belly. And I'm a small framed girl, so I didn't have a lot for the growth of my babies to go. So for both of my kids, I gained about the same amount of weight, and I was pretty much all belly. So I had a lot of pressure on my core for both pregnancies. So it really played a toll on my body, and I had still have some loose skin, especially when I'm on all fours. It hangs. When I sit down, it hangs over. And I just know it's a part of life, and I still embrace it, and I still find myself beautiful, and I want you to see yourself as that too. So the second half of Heather's question I wanted to answer here too. Am I still doing my Retrain Your Core workouts mixed in with other workouts that I do, or do I do the Retrain Your Core workouts once a day, even at 12 months postpartum? Kind of answered two questions here, because inside my program Retrain Your Core, I have core workouts that are geared just towards the core, and then I also have regular workouts that still embrace the core, but more of like bringing in resistance bands work, strength training work, other stuff like that. So Heather, to answer your question, I'm still doing, like I kind of mentioned I think in the first question, that I'm still doing sometimes some of the core workouts inside Retrain Your Core. I have the 9 pretty much printed off in a PDF, and I randomly pick a workout when I do it. And then I also just know my favorite moves from a little bit from all of them that I tend to do here and there throughout the day as well. So it kind of mixes up with the core work, but some days I follow one of the workouts, and other days I just pick a few moves and then I go on. Now going back to just regular workouts, because after in Retrain Your Core you have 6 weeks, I have just you focusing on just the core. Then it goes into the full 16-week postpartum program. So I did all that, and then after that I came into Purely Fit Life, which Purely Fit Life is Michelle and I's online monthly fitness lifestyle program, where we do workouts and a whole bunch of other great stuff. So I do those workouts now. We create new workouts all the time. So knowing that I had diastasis and I'm always going to be wary of my core, I'm still always going to be modifying, doing certain things at my pace as well. But I'm working out for life, and that's where I'm at now. Retrain Your Core, I still love all those workouts inside there, and I will catch myself every once in a while pulling one of those workouts, because I really like a lot of the moves that I did in there. So I will do some of those moves every once in a while, but typically right now I'm over in Purely Fit Life doing those workouts. I'm not doing any extra cardio. I sometimes do walking, about I would say 10-15 minute walks here and there, not that often, but really it's just me running around chasing after my kids. And I haven't done any real jumping yet. I'm starting to here, get a little bit more comfortable with my jumping for certain exercises. So I'm starting to just incorporate a little bit more advanced moves into my own fitness journey. And I'm starting to do a lot more planking, which is super exciting, and push-ups. And you saw, if any of you joined me over in the Rise Challenge, you saw that we did push-ups on my knees. I do those every once in a while. I don't overdo anything, because I'm still mindful of honoring my core where it's at and not overdoing it, because again, I'm not in a rush to do anything. There's no timeline for me. I'm just embracing the journey and seeing my body progress and get stronger over time. So I am starting to do more frontal planks, which is super exciting. That is it for today. Thank you again for all the questions, and thank you for watching. If you have any more questions that you would like me to address or to answer, make sure you comment down below to let me know. Or if there's any topic that you would like me to cover, please let me know. I'll be happy to do it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any video from either Michelle or I. And I'll see you guys next time in another video.